Nervous. Okay.
You can talk into the mic all you want. You can
I know.
Put your lips right on it.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Put my lips all over it.
That's what you do.
I'll kiss all the...
Say, hey, girlfriend. How do you like this? Yeah.
She goes,
Instantly.
stop.
Yeah, she goes.
Like SpongeBob.
Yeah, I don't know.
God, is my girlfriend here right now?
Shane has never seen me and his girlfriend in the same room at the same time before.
Coincidence? I think not.
I mean, it might explain something.
Might explain
No.
everything.
But yeah,
Yeah.
here we are.
It's Black Friday, also known as, to some,
Cuck Friday.
as Cuck Friday.
Not getting what you want Friday.
Yeah. Or the day after Thanksgiving is what I was going to say.
That's true. Because I almost used to never go Black Friday shopping. I think I've done it once.
I've done it, so my friends and I used to go every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever get any good shit?
Nope.
No, you just go because you can.
Yeah. Maybe there's good shit, you know?
I mean, it is nice.
Sometimes, like, Walmart will have that bin where it's, like, $5 to $20 games. And you can dig through that, and sometimes you'll find, like, Skyrim or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I went to GameStop for one of them because it was like, buy two, get one free.
Yeah.
And so I would do that, and they have so many, like, old games, so it's like, okay, yeah. But that's the only time I went.
Yeah.
But
Mostly we would go just to dig around.
That's what, it seems like it's nice if you're a night owl. It's like, oh, everything's actually open now.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just go and do something.
Yeah.
Because I was like up anyway. It was like 3 in the morning. I was already up. So it's like, well, I guess I'm going to GameStop and seeing what they got. There's a lot of people there too.
Yeah.
Buying like 3-year-old PS3 games.
Hell yeah. So, today it's just Tyler and I. Jer, came in contact with the virus.
Yes. He might
How
have
was
it. We don't know if he has it or not, but he might.
So, welcome to the Wasteland podcast, Tyler and Shane and Tyler edition.
Yeah. Tyler, Shane, and Tyler edition.
Yeah.
I have to be both guests. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I have to be the co-host and the guest.
It's whack. I'm always just the host.
So Tyler, how was your Thanksgiving? Well, Tyler.
You have to get up and move.
It was pretty good. Oh, yeah.
You have to switch. You have to, like, come over to this mic. And...
It was a pretty good Thanksgiving. Nah, I don't want to talk about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving
I was going to
whack.
ask that. I was going to say, how was your Thanksgiving? Obviously,
It's whack. No, my
You didn't
Thanksgiving
go-
is actually fine.
You didn't go home or anything?
No, I went to my mom's.
Oh, you did?
But it was just my mom and my 2 brothers, and that was the whole, we could do that any day. But
yeah. Did you eat, like, turkey?
Yeah. She bought a bunch of food from Deerberg's, and I was like, this is fine.
Oh, yeah.
And she made mimosas because she knows her children. Actually, my mom
You
has-
like mimosas?
Yeah. Well, it's alcohol, so I'm referring to. But like there's so many beers and seltzers in her fridge, and then I was like, "You got a bottle of water? Can I just have a water?" She's like, "I have another fridge in the garage." So I go to the garage, and it's also got a lot of beer in it. I'm like, "Geez,
Mom.
who'd I get it from?"
Oh my God.
I wonder where I got. It's all light beers and stuff, but it's like beer and seltzer.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Seltzers are huge right now. I've never known, like...
Because they're low calorie and they taste pretty alright, you know?
Yeah. I'd rather drink beer over seltzer, though.
I'd rather drink seltzer over certain shitty, like, generic beers. Like, Busch and Bud Light.
Yeah.
Bud Light's alright, but, like, a lot of those are just like, why even drink at that point?
Yeah. You're pretty much just drinking water.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like every beer company makes a seltzer now.
Yeah.
It's like Bud Light has one.
Because nobody likes
Truly.
You remember...
I think Corona has one.
Really? That's actually... Yeah. Yeah, no, I just saw the Coors seltzers.
Oh, Coors?
Yeah, I just saw those, and I was like... And they looked identical to the Bud Light seltzers, so I was like, what? But...
It's just they're capitalizing on White Claw. White Claw got super popular.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, you don't like beer? here's water with liquor.
That's because that's what everyone says. Is they like, oh, I don't like beer, even though like 2 different beers. It's like saying you don't like soda because you don't like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, do you like Sprite? No, I don't like soda because I don't like Dr. Pepper. It makes no sense. You have to
there's
try
so
the
many.
other beers.
Yeah, there's like too many to count.
Vastly different from each other. Like a craft beer compared to any like light beer is it's a different drink at that point.
And like every microbrew has its different beer. It's like there's so many different beers in the entire world.
Right.
Like you can make your own. Like my dad makes his own beer. It's not going to be the same as anyone else.
Yeah.
Even if they get the same recipe, it's still not going to be the same. Because, you know.
So it's just silly when people are like, I don't like beer. And it's like, I would understand if they had like an actual explanation, but nobody ever does. They're always just like, it tastes like cat pee, or they say something weird. I'm like, what are you even drinking, bro?
Yeah.
You drink Budweiser one time, like, ugh. So that's why they're like, oh, I'll buy seltzers, because people used to do that with they used to go buy hard ciders. That's still kind of popular, because those just taste like juice. Mm-hmm. But I don't like.
Like
them.
if you have only had like light commercial beer, and you go, I don't like beer, then you've never had good beer.
Yeah, you don't really understand. It's like buying McDonald's coffee, and you're like,
I mean,
I don't like coffee, or something like that. It's just weird.
Right. I mean, it's understandable that like beer has an acquired taste,
but
it doesn't take that much acquiring.
Your first time, you might be like, what?
Yeah.
But when you like I said, it's when you start having like some good craft beers and have like some real flavor to them.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Do you like IPAs? I think I can't remember if I
legally no.
Okay. I can't remember.
I've never had one.
Okay. Well, IPAs those are like the real acquired tastes.
Yeah.
That's like the Dr. Pepper of beer.
I fucking love Dr. Pepper.
I love Dr. Pepper too.
I don't know why people don't like Dr. Pepper.
I fucking adore Dr. Pepper, but it's not that I didn't like it. It's just like I'd rather have Coke. But now it's like, no, if I'm picking Coke or Dr. Pepper, I'm picking Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah,
the
100%.
flavor's amazing. Like, so much better.
I don't even like Coke that much.
I hate Coke now.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. For some reason, I was younger. I was like, that's my go-to. It's Coke. And
yeah.
I used to think Sprite was good too. Now, like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. I really don't like Sprite either, unless it's from like a restaurant.
Yeah.
I like McDonald's Sprite, but everyone does. I don't. It
McDonald's
just hits
Coke
different.
And McDonald's Sprite does hit different. I don't know what's up with that.
They add Coke.
It's a real thing.
They add like cocaine and methamphetamines. They add like Adderall to
Mexican Cokes are good too.
It's
with the real sugar. That's pretty good.
And like just drinking out of a glass bottle hits different too.
Yeah.
If you give me a glass of Sprite and a bottle of Sprite from the same bottle, I'm gonna pick glass and tell you it's better.
Yeah.
Or like a glass and I meant like a glass bottle and like a can. But you just you like emptied them both out and refilled it from the same 2-liter. Did like a blind test. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could do that sometimes. Set up a blind test of 3 different things with the same soda.
You get a 2-liter. You empty out.
We'll go to McDonald's.
Bottle and a can. You empty out.
Get an actual can of Coke. But the 2-liter bottles or whatever, the plastic ones.
But
just
that's okay. We could do a blind test with McDonald's Coke.
McDonald's Coke, Mexican Coke, and Coke from a can.
Yeah, you just pour it into the same cups.
Yeah.
And
write ABC or whatever so we can keep track.
Yeah. But only you would know, or I would know.
I'll wear a lab coat and glasses.
Goggles.
And I'll write in my notepad, see what your responses are. And then you'll be like, all right, well, what was the results? I'm like, it says you're gay. So,
wait, what?
It says you're gay.
Huh?
Yeah.
So you like the dick, huh?
So.
What?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I don't really drink soda that much anymore. I just drink beer and water and wine and other alcohol, basically. But I'm making it sound like I drink alcohol all the time. I actually don't. I mostly just drink water.
Water.
But I've been drinking some more coffee lately. More coffee, yeah.
Yeah, coffee's good. Again, I don't understand. How can you not like coffee?
Well,
It's
again,
just like
I think people have shitty ass coffee. I think their grandparents make them some shitty coffee
yeah,
or some shit.
if you get like good coffee
yeah.
and then you add like sugar and creamer, like I can drink black coffee, like good black coffee.
Yeah.
But for people who don't like coffee, if you just add cream and sugar, it's just like it's like drinking a milkshake or something.
At that point, it doesn't even taste like coffee anymore.
I know.
And that's why so many people do it. I love the taste of like black coffee though.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, once you start drinking like really good black coffees, it's like whoa. It's like our decaf at the bakery is better than like most people's regular ass coffee.
Yeah.
And it's just like amazing. Yeah.
That's because we get fucking
so we get good shit.
Bomb coffee. Get it straight from South Africa, South America.
Support your local businesses. You might learn something. You might get something really good.
We've never actually like said where we work.
Yeah.
We have never.
That's okay because
like,
the people who need to know. Like some like a lot of people who listen met us through work, and other people who like know me and you know where we work. So
yeah.
People who need to know. But people know we work at a bakery.
Yeah.
We slay
good ass coffee.
We slay some good coffee.
We fucking put our dicks in it.
Yeah, nut in people's coffee and give it to them
all the time.
I explained that joke to Leland and Cora.
You did?
Yeah.
What did they say?
Yeah,
that's like a hard joke.
They just kept. I mean, they found it funny. I was just trying to explain. I was like,
that's like a hard joke. That's like an inside joke. You had to be there to.
No, but they were laughing at it.
Yeah.
Because it's still funny because it's like well the thing is that they ask for toffee nut, and then you go, what? And they go toffee nut, and you go, are you sure? And then they go, yes, that's what I want. And you go, okay. And then you go in the back, and then you come back.
Here's your coffee nut.
Yeah, you go, here's your coffee nut, and they go, this tastes a little different, but I like it. And then your coworker's like, did you give him the toffee nut? And you're like, wait a minute, toffee nut? I thought they said coffee nut. And meanwhile, there's nut in their coffee.
But like that was like an inside joke for a while.
It still kind of funny. I don't know.
We were just like
Leland kept talking about nutting, so
when
I just like brought that up.
When did we?
You just
come up with that.
You just keep talking about cum all the time.
Because it's so fucking funny.
I mean, cum is
so funny.
Cum is really funny. A lot of things about sex is that it's either actually disgusting
or
really
just
silly.
Funny.
Like just like cum is.
Vaginas are kind of funny too.
Vaginas are like gross and funny.
I know.
Vaginas like just fart at you sometimes. Like, and then I don't know. It's like we love sex. Like everyone like so much about life is just like actually about sex, and it's like vaginas. They can like discharge gross ass fucking shit. They can bleed, and it's not just normal blood. It's like disgusting blood.
Dude, like the first time you see a vagina, you're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what?
Well,
that's so gross.
Yeah. A lot of people are really grossed out by vaginas the first time.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if girls
vaginas are an acquired taste. You have to see a lot of them to appreciate.
Okay, yeah. I thought you meant like the actual taste.
No,
like, wait, no, I think you're still right.
Yeah, I'm right on both.
But it's just like okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's true that when you see them for the first time, you're like.
Like for the first couple of times.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, like if you see if your first introduction, because we're in the internet age, if your first introduction is like hardcore porn or like back then they had like Hustler, and like they would like show like gaping. Women. Yeah. And it's like, this is not. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till I'm married. You see it?
Grody.
Like, we talked about it before, but like, did you see it as a kid, or did you see naked women for the first time as like a teenager?
As a kid.
Yeah.
I looked up porn.
Yeah, because when you're like a kid,
I looked up sex. I looked up naked girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put boob.com.
Naked boobs. That's what it was.
Naked boobs, yeah. But when you see it, you go, ugh. Yeah,
all I cared about were boobs back then.
Boobs, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't care about butts at all. It was like boobs. and then I grew up a little bit. I'm like, butts are kind of nice.
When you're a kid, you do have some sense of logic. So you're like, well, butts are just stinky.
Yeah.
They poop. They fart. You're like, I don't get the big deal. We just like the Big Butts song.
Yeah.
It's a funny song.
Yeah.
But
so they talk about butts.
But then you're like, you're all shaking your butts. Everyone's shaking their butts together, and they just think it's like funny because it's a butt, haha. But then like when you're older, you're like, whoa. Whoa.
Some pedophile teacher was probably like,
And you're like, would I still smash if she farted right now? Maybe. Maybe.
Probably.
Probably. But yeah. Vaginas are... Yeah, I think we all know like a lot of girls are really grossed out by seeing dicks like unexpectedly. But like I think a lot of guys can still be like, at least at first. I'm at the point now where I feel like I'm either going to be numb to it or I'm just going to actually enjoy it. So
yeah. Unless it's like a really gross, hairy vagina.
I mean, it depends what you mean by gross and hairy. Because if you just mean hairy...
Well, hairy's not like...
Because hairy, I wouldn't say is... Some people think hairy is gross, but I wouldn't.
Okay, but not like groomed hair is fine. But like super hairy, like everywhere.
Like a giant pube bush.
Well, they grow like hair... Every like
no, a lot of they have hair like under it and everything like us
and around the labia and stuff.
Yeah,
like that shit's. I'm like,
I have seen like I remember seeing this video where like a girl had hair and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a man. I'm man enough. I'm like 16. I'm a man now. I can handle this. And then like she turned around and there was like hair in her butthole too. And I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
I don't like.
I'm out.
I like the groomed hair's fine. But like all that,
yeah, it depends on situation. But I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this. But I feel like more and more girls nowadays. I feel like pubes are coming back. I'm kind of happy for them. Kind of happy for women. Bring it back.
More crabs.
You don't get it. Well, yeah, that's true. But you don't have to. You don't
number one way to deal with crabs is shave it.
You don't have to submit to the beauty standards. You know, you can. You can fight back.
It's either beauty standards. Or an actual, like, prevention of...
Oh, my gosh. Shut up.
I'm just saying there's pros and cons. Like, I don't know.
Okay, well, I don't think it's that common. Okay, be safe out there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say.
Just saying.
Yeah. But I don't know. Anyway.
Only abstinence has 100%.
Yeah, just don't have sex anymore ever again.
Until you're married. And even then.
And even then... I mean, make sure she's really the one.
And she's clean.
That's the dumbest logic ever. Is like, so many people do it, and I guess it works fine. Like a lot of people who wait to get married, like they never seem to complain. But to me, it's just like, but what if you don't like it? What if you don't like having sex with them? But I guess because you're both such vanilla virgins at that time that anything seems amazing, and then I don't know. And
then you can just crank it up.
Crank it up to 11.
Cause I feel like if you wait till marriage, you'll get kinkier quicker. Cause you won't know what you like.
Yes, so you'll be like, stuff.
Yeah,
that's true. I didn't think about it like that. It's pretty like normalized nowadays. Like after a few dates,
no
it's
kink
like,
shaming.
After a few dates, it's like, okay, time to make sure I smell nice down there and I'm trimmed up and cleaned up and ready to go. Yeah. And I have condoms in my wallet because, like, after a few dates, it's like, it's so normal nowadays. It's like almost expected of you.
Yeah. And even if it's like, almost no one's going to wait till marriage. Even if it's like a month after dating, I could see that. That's fine.
Right. Well, I think, I mean, if someone actually wanted to wait a long time, that's completely fine. It's just, usually they just don't, Usually they're just like, all right.
I'm horny.
Yeah. They're like, this is nice, but, what's up? The girl's like, this is the 5th date. What the fuck? When are you going to smash? Like, I'm being a gentleman.
Girls don't like gentlemen.
They literally hate it. They literally, if you follow people on Twitter, it's hilarious. Because, like, I'm like, all these girls I knew in high school, they're just like, I literally just want a bad boy. I literally want a guy who's going to abuse me. I want someone who's going to treat me like shit. And it's like, you guys are
so
all weird. yeah, I'm like, okay, well, if that's what you want. It's funny though.
Yeah.
I appreciate the raw honesty of it all.
I just want to get beaten
I
every
just want to give.
every time I make lasagna
They're
wrong.
like, listen, I don't care if he's toxic. If he fucks good, then I don't care. I was like, all right, well, but we're pretty much the same, men and women.
Yeah.
We just pretend we're not.
Yeah.
We just were like, oh, girls don't fart and shit. Ooh.
Yeah. I definitely feel like
girls drink so much Starbucks and they're like, oh, I don't fart and shit. Like, yeah, right.
Coffee. Anytime I drink coffee, it's like 30 minutes before I have to poop.
Yeah, I know. It's so fast.
I know.
It just turns whatever you have in there to poop. Stop.
It's insane.
What were you saying?
I feel like if a really hot, toxic girl wanted to date me, I'd be like, okay.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You usually
like a 10.
Usually you'll say yes and then like break up eventually. But then
you get that Stockholm.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually you will break up. I mean, I don't know. You might stay a long time. You might stay a little bit
long
longer.
time. Love you long time.
When I was breaking up with my ex, I tell a story to a lot of people, so I'm fine telling it. But I've
never heard it.
Sitting at Walmart. Well, I'm not telling you the actual story. It's just a thing that popped in my head.
Okay.
Which was I was sitting at Walmart after grocery shopping and getting texts from her that was just really pissing me off. And me and her were already fighting, so I was like, well, I'm getting really pissed off. And I looked up and looked out my window, and this girl with a giant booty walked past me, and I was like, I deal with a lot of shit for someone who has a flat ass. I deal with a lot of shit for someone whose ass isn't that great. So it really it's like you have this desire where you want to hold on.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, what am I even doing this for?
Right.
What am I even fighting for?
There is an emotional attachment, but then once you're is it worth it?
Yeah. Maybe if she was a little bit hotter,
Yeah.
Though people, yeah, I'm sure people.
You're willing to put up with hot people's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because they're hot.
I still think it's only a matter of time. But.
Matter of time before what?
I don't know if I would say. I don't know if I'd go for it anymore. I feel like I've done it before.
Hot girls?
If they're hot and toxic.
Oh.
I mean, if they're hot and not toxic, I'm like, yeah, sign me up. But
yeah.
But if they're hot and toxic, it's like. Well,
I feel like a lot of hot girls are toxic.
Am I even gonna find my Mrs. Right now? I mean, she's out there somewhere, right? I mean, I don't know, just saying, you're 18, so almost everyone's gonna be toxic. So I don't. You just get fucked either way. You might as well just have fun with it.
Yeah. A lot of people my age are assholes.
Yeah, they don't. I remember in high school, everyone just was super controlling of their significant others. They didn't understand how to treat other people at all.
Yeah. Because you got to learn how to treat yourself with respect.
I guess that's true.
Before you treat other people with respect.
Everyone sees each other as property.
I'm Mr. T.
Mr. T. I pity the fool who objectifies women. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird out there. Do you have any horrible relationship stories from high school?
I didn't really date in high school. I did date one girl.
Yeah.
And she was pretty attractive. I liked her.
Yeah.
But she was super conservative Christian.
Right.
And this was at the point where I was God. Yeah.
So wait, when you were
This was junior year.
So when you first started dating her, were you still kind of into it?
No.
Oh, so you were just not about God this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, I've done that before.
Yeah. So we started dating.
Yeah.
And then and she's super conservative. Super Catholic, super conservative.
Right. But she's a nice person, I guess.
Yeah. She was super controlling, I felt like.
Yeah.
She was always like, come walk down the hall with me. And I'm like, But why?
High school is the worst.
I know.
High school it's even worse because like you can't get away from them.
I know. I was like hanging out with my boy, and she's like, "You want to come down to the office with me?" And I'm like,
"Can boy come?"
No.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, no. I say yes because I don't want to piss her off.
Yeah, I know.
And then I walk there and I just stand next to her and I'm like, what the fuck? Why? I felt so awkward. And oh god.
It's fun from high school, man. Or
I didn't realize how conservative she was after we broke up. I broke up with her really fast because she was like, I could not get down with the whole follow me everywhere thing.
Yeah.
I was like, no, not for me. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Not unless I really like being around you. Like, really, really like being around you.
So it was like early on in your relationship, and she's like, you guys have to be inseparable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
That's why it's weird in high school, because like after high school, you go on like dates, and like it's all about space from each other.
Yeah.
But in high school, it's like there's no need to go on dates because you are fucking with each other already.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
but it was like we'd only gone on 2 dates.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to hang around, like wanted me to be around her all the time. And we were still at that point where we weren't like comfortable talking to each other.
Yeah.
So we would just stand around in awkward silence. So I was like, why? I'd rather hang out with my boys, you know?
Yeah.
I'd rather not be with you right now.
Right.
So that threw I hated that. I was like, oh god, I can't deal with this. I only found out how conservative she was and after we broke up.
Yeah. I
told her that I didn't believe in God. Like halfway through our relationship, we just never talked about it.
Yeah.
It never came up, and she didn't really care, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, most people. Yeah, I mean, if the lungs are somewhat rational, they won't care.
But yeah, I just realized I just recently found out like how conservative she was, and I'm like, whew, dodged a bullet.
Only recently?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. She's not very vocal about her opinions or whatever. But
I think things have gotten worse now. Like, there's people on YouTube I used to watch, and I like went back on this guy's channel, and he's like, "We can't give up. We have to keep fighting. Trump should have won the election. It's been stolen from him." I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, he used to be somewhat logical.
Yeah.
We're in a polarizing time.
And I don't want to call this girl out.
Don't say her name or anything.
No.
And
she's not gonna.
Don't say anything too specific. That would be like, this is literally her.
No.
I mean, the people who know you know who you dated, so they already know. But...
Or fucking. Oh my god. Right. There was one time she wore open-toed shoes, and her feet are so gross.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, I'm not even a feet guy, but they were so weird looking. I was just like so repulsed. I was like, okay, yeah, this is over.
Yeah.
I could not handle it.
I've been pretty neutral on feet my whole life. I've always been like, some people are grossed out by it, some people jerk off to it.
Yeah.
You know, I think those are a little too extreme, but sometimes you see, like, dude's feet, if you are a dude, you're gonna be like, ugh, but especially if like they stink or something. But like sometimes you see like a hot girl, but then her feet are just, it's like, put those away.
Yeah, but she always wore like open-toed shoes.
I know, because it's so
and
normal.
I'm like, I can't. And so I'd always like be looking at her feet because I'm just like, it's like one of those things where you can't look away. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, God. Every time I looked, I was like,
there was a girl who was like a year older. So she was like a sophomore, and I was a freshman, and she's also taller than like me and my friends. Even though like in high school you kind of already like you hit your growth spurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But she was still taller than us. So it was like always kind of weird. But we never noticed it until like there was a bomb threat one day. So we all had to go outside, which doesn't make sense because they could, if there was an actual bomb threat, like the Columbine shooters, they set bombs off, but they didn't go off. And so what they planned to do was have the bombs explode and kill people in the cafeteria. Then everyone in the class would run out. Like everyone in school would run outside.
And
they were going to shoot them. Yeah.
That's what I always...
And so they were like, okay, everyone go outside to the football field. I was like, what? Wait. If there was actually people trying to hurt us, we're right fucking here. Okay. And there's no protection.
I've got something to talk about. But
yeah, the sunlight... this is a weird day. Okay, you make me sound like a pimp, and I'm really not
a pimp.
Yeah, but like I was with my friend, and we were talking to the tall girl who was into me kind of. We never dated, but I saw in the sunlight she has like black hairs on her upper lip, and he's like, she's got a mustache, and I was like, stop. Don't make fun of her. And he's like, I'm not making fun of her, but she has a fucking and like, I didn't want to be mean, but then all I could do was look at her mustache.
I know, it's like,
oh man,
I know.
that's so unfortunate.
I know.
She's pretty besides that,
but it's just like,
yeah. And then later that day, the girl, my actual like first girlfriend, who wasn't my girlfriend yet, who I barely knew at the time, was like, it's cold. We have to like hug to stay warm. And I was like, well, I guess I picked the girl. Like, I guess I made my decision because I'm literally touching her in front of people. So, yeah. That girl got the boot.
Yeah. Mustache.
Can I have a mustache?
Mustache girl. The thing, okay, the school shooting thing.
Yeah.
So, my school has a plan for school shooters. It's like, you know, if there's a school shooter, you lock your door. And then you try to go outside if it's not in your hallway, if he or she's not in your hallway.
Yeah.
And you run outside and you go to like a designated area. And so I'm thinking here, I'm like, okay, if I was a school shooter and I wanted to cause as much carnage and death as I possibly could, I would plant bombs out in the safe areas. I would either plant bombs in the safe areas, shoot everyone out, shoot as many people and get them out, and then detonate them, kill everybody.
Right.
Or I would have a partner. Which, you know, Columbine, there was two.
There's two.
It's not uncommon.
Well, it's uncommon, but shootings in the first place are uncommon. So,
yeah. So it's not like an irrational fear of mine. It's just like if someone actually thought through this, like I am.
If people actually really wanted to get the job done, it could get done.
So, and then I was like, well, what if there's a second guy hiding out in the woods because we had woods near it, and so the first guy comes in, you know, draws everyone out in the field, you know, kills everyone. And then the other guy just comes out and just starts mowing through everybody. Right. Where are we going to go?
Yeah.
Like it was, and the worst part is that all the students knew about the plan.
Yeah. So.
Because everyone had to know.
Yeah. So.
And all of the school shooters had come from the school.
Yeah. I think that was I think it was Chappelle's joke. Someone made a joke that was like, yeah, but now the kids are learning how to better kill each other.
I know. It's literally it's
not.
It's like
it doesn't really make you feel any safer.
It's like kind of like a Band-Aid. It's supposed to make you feel safe, right. But when you actually think about it, it could, if people actually wanted to do more, right. You know, more. Yeah. They could, especially if they just thought about it, because it's not that hard to come up with the plan like that. And it's horrible that I have to come up with that plan. Yeah. And I have to think about that shit, but I actually have to worry about that shit when I'm going to high school. So I think about that often because it's
like they didn't think about this stuff, and it's like you only took 2 seconds and you like figured out how this plan doesn't work and how it actually makes things worse possibly.
Yeah. And like our school was like, hey, if you have suggestions on how to make it better or concerns, come to us. I didn't want to go up there and be like, if I was going to shoot up the school, this is what I would do.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Yeah. I drew out maps of the school.
And it sounds weird for me to say, like, you know, if I was going to... but, like, it was a reality for me in high school. Like, any day someone could come in and shoot up the school. Yeah. So it is something you always kind of think about.
There were more... And
then you're like, well, if I... You know... If I was gonna do that, this is how.
After the Parkland shooting, I think there were a few more after too, and I think like news has kind of stopped just talking about it as much. Though they really aren't that often, and they really don't. A lot of times, not a lot of people get hurt because some schools are handling it better. Yeah. But also, it's not okay. If like when we were saying like if you wanted to actually get the job done and hurt a lot of people, you could, but it can be hard. And from what I understand, like, why is it so hard is like, if you, like, actually creating bombs is not as easy as you might think.
Yeah, but if you're dedicated, you can get it done.
But that's what happened with the Columbine. They practiced making bombs for, like, a whole year. And he was like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm ready. we're going to blow the fuck up out of the school, and like the bombs didn't go off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, but like even if you are worried about that, you could just be like, hey, go to another loner and be like,
right.
Hey, you want to shoot up school with me?
Yeah.
And be like, and then just do like this. It's just
it is hard for two people to like rationalize it enough, because like it's a lot easier if you're just like in your own head and you're crazy. But those two together were like, they were inseparable best friends, and like they were both just absolutely miserable and in the same failing programs that are supposed to help troubled youth. And
it's just like, it's horrible that I have to think of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because no one else will.
So,
you know? It's not like I actually want... I want to reiterate this. It's not like I actually want to shoot up a school.
No.
I just...
Okay.
Like, worry about...
Okay.
I just look for them. I'm like, but it would be so easy for someone to just take advantage of it.
I think school shootings are very interesting because, like, it usually involves, like, a similar stereotype of a person, like, just like an incel. But, you know, it used to be there wasn't a word for that. Like, yeah. It was just like, oh, he's like a loser kid.
Yeah.
And often they were the ones being bullied, and like on the media is always like, it's because they don't believe in God, they love video games, and they love heavy metal music. I'm like, oh fuck, that's me. And so I was like, but I don't want to shoot the school.
Yeah.
So what's the real difference? And the real difference is that like we don't really have mental health programs that are effective, and we don't have things to help people deal with problems. And also we like a lot of schools do things to alienate people. There I think during that time that high school said they don't promote jock culture, and what that means is that like if you're jock, you don't get like benefits. Like you're not like, it's like when you're like the quarterback, you're like the popular kid or whatever, but it's like the idea that jock culture isn't encouraged by schools that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, because it's
not up to the school.
Well, that's all the schools do, is they're like pep rallies, like go team, go every sports, but it's more than that too, because like if you're failing, the coaches could possibly pull some strings to make it so you pass because if you have a bad enough grade, you can't be on the team,
right?
And stuff like that. So like not every school does that stuff, but like, you know, the idea, I don't know. That's just crazy to me. The idea that like, they don't encourage kids to just become jocks and play football. Like, of course they encourage that shit. So I don't understand that when they're like, no, we don't encourage that.
At my school, they had a zero tolerance. If you're not passing 4 or more classes, you can't play.
Yeah.
Which I think is good.
Yeah. You shouldn't be failing and then playing on the team, because that's supposed to be taking up a lot of your time. And if you need to be focused on your schoolwork, then yeah.
Because then the coaches just say, "Oh, don't worry about college; you'll get it paid for." And then they don't.
And then also it's like, so then they play a bunch of, you know, high school football, possibly get like CTE, or that's what it's called, right? Like,
I don't know.
When you have like that head trauma and it like, causes brain damage for like the rest of your life and shortens your life. People can get that as early as high school, but they start in high school, then they go to college and blah blah blah, and it's like they're not even learning anything in school at the same time, because they're just purely there for sports.
Right. They're just slowly killing themselves.
I don't know much about this stuff. I just want to bring up the idea that schools totally encourage you to become jockey types, and they totally encourage you, which then encourages kids to bully people who aren't jockey types.
Yeah.
Schools are part of the problem. Get over it. But also, I don't think the problem is fucking bullying either. I honestly, if I want to be the true libtard, because this is the Libtard podcast, I do think AR-15s are the fucking problem. Because, again, if they didn't have... People go, oh, they don't have guns, they'll use something else. Okay, again, building bombs, hard. Kids, you gotta be... Look, you have to be a psychopath incel to kill people at school. And if you're a psychopath incel, you're probably way too lame to make a bomb.
Yeah.
You're not that cool. If you could make a bomb, you wouldn't be an incel. You'd be doing cooler shit.
And if it's really easy for you to get a high-powered, high-capacity, high-fire rate firearm, it does the job for you.
And that's the thing. We've seen. Remember when the YouTube shooting happened? When that woman went to the YouTube headquarters?
Oh yeah.
She slept in a car overnight, and her videos are wild, by the way. They're great, but she was like, YouTube is suppressing me. That's the reason why. Yeah. I'm not doing well. And she tried to do a shooting with a handgun, killed nobody, but injured one person. Because it doesn't fucking work with a handgun.
Right.
There's school shooting, or not school shooting. A guy went to his place of work with a shotgun and tried to do his shooting, and I think he killed 3 people. But it's like 3 people versus 30 people is a big difference, So, yes. An AR-15, it makes the difference, especially because you have extended magazines. They're easy to reload anyway. They're lightweight, super accurate, high-powered. Customizable. So if you're not even good at aiming, you can put a red dot on it, red dot scope on it, or even a bigger scope on it. Right. So it's stupid.
And the whole
it's OP as fuck. It should be banned.
Another argument is guns don't kill people. People kill people. But then we're not doing anything to get the guns out of the people.
Well, people are like, cars could kill people. Should we take all the cars away? I'm like, okay, yeah, ram your car into school. I don't fucking care. It's like, go ahead.
Who's gonna?
Or like people are like, well, there's been mass killings with knives. Yes, there has by crazy psychopaths who are probably adults, but consciously stabbing someone with a knife and then pulling it out of them and killing someone else. I would love to see an incel do that.
They don't have
and get numbers. Their score would be very low. They would have maybe 1 kill, but honestly, I would say 1 injured, 0 killed if someone tried to do a killing with a knife.
And knives are so much more personal. You have to have another. Yeah. You get up in their face, you stab them. Whereas it's so much easier to just pull a trigger. It's distance yourselves from the victim.
Just run away from someone with a knife versus you possibly can't run away from someone with a gun. That's why it's scary. That's why you have to hide. Mm-hmm. Because if you're running, they could possibly shoot you. Now, if they had a less accurate gun, like a shotgun from long range, you might survive that.
But people kill people gun. Yeah. But again, we're not getting the guns out of those people's hands. We're giving more guns to more people.
And it's there is interesting arguments for guns, and if Jeremiah was here, there's good arguments for and against guns. I'm not against taking away all guns.
I'm not either.
I don't even know if I'm against AR-15 being taken away. But what I am saying is, let's not fucking lie about it. Yeah. Let's be honest. They're using the AR-15 for a reason. There's a reason why they always use it.
They're easy to get.
And now if you say, okay, well then they ban the AR-15, then they might use another assault weapon similar to it. Yeah, they might. And that's why we used to have a ban on those types of rifles. Okay, sorry, my Google Home is
listening.
Is asking telling me how to buy guns now because I fucking talked about the AR-15. But yeah, no, we used to in the Clinton days we had the assault rifle ban, and then when
Reagan. Yeah. Ronald Reagan was like, assault rifles are not needed by people.
Yeah, that's a quote.
They are not necessary.
But then during the Bush years, George W.,
that's the whole 9/11 thing.
Yeah, he just basically was like, I'm not going to renew that law. I'm going to let it die, so that way we can have assault rifles again. And since then, we've just had them. And yes, massacres that have gone up. They skyrocketed up because people use those. If you want to kill someone, if you want to kill one person, if someone fucked your wife and you want to kill them, use a handgun because you can put it in your pants and it's really easy to hide. You can't hide an assault rifle in your pants. So you come up to someone with an assault rifle, they're going to know you're going to kill them. Yeah. But if you come up to them, you can get really close with a pistol and do it. But if you do a pistol for a mass shooting, it ain't going to work. So look, I'm just saying, because I'm not saying most homicide deaths are from pistols, and it might be a problem, but you could argue that you might need a pistol for self-defense. Okay, I could understand that, but what I am saying is the AR-15 is literally why we have mass shootings. It is the prime reason.
I can't see a point for a normal person to have an assault weapon.
I agree.
They say shooting coyotes, but you can shoot a coyote with fucking anything.
Right. It's just look, and it's the other argument is like the only reason why people like assault weapons is because they're fun to collect and fun to shoot. And I agree that if you're a responsible adult in America, you should be able to handle things. But people have proven to not be responsible.
Yeah.
And that's the problem because their kids have access to it, or they buy it for their kids. You know,
either
people are not being responsible. That's all I'm saying.
You either ban them or you have more strict restrictions.
Yeah.
To get so that only responsible gun owners have those guns, because otherwise your argument of guns don't kill people, it falls apart because anyone can get a gun.
Right. Well, it's like, okay, well, people are killing people currently, so we should do something about it. Now, again, you can't do it. Getting rid of the assault weapons, a lot of people are like, well, that does nothing for the homicides. Like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, because I can't focus on that. I don't know enough how to save people from... my honest answer for how we should stop homicides is to put way more foundation into the poor and get people uplifted out of poverty. Yeah. That's my only real fucking solution, because there is no quick band-aid solution for why people murder each other like that, okay? It's because we live in shitty conditions and it's dog eat dog. Imagine if it wasn't. But if you're talking about something we can do right now to stop kids, get rid of the AR-15s. But that's only a solution for school shootings. It doesn't really apply to anything else. Mm-hmm. And it sucks that the people who are being responsible have to get taken away. But if fat redneck moms would stop buying guns for their kids that are clearly crazy, then we wouldn't have a problem. But this is where we are. Instead of blaming the government for taking your guns away, blame the crazy ass people who kill. Yeah. They're like, okay, so we're just gonna do nothing about this. Like, yeah, and it was like time and time again. Yeah, so many shootings. It was like instead of trying to fix it, they put money into schools. They're just like, it's the school's problem. Yeah, they don't even. They say it's the school's problem, and they don't even. Then they take funding away from the schools at the same time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense. Well, now because they hate public schools and they want to like prop up private schools. Almost like private school lobbyists are like paying Republicans or something. I don't know. It's weird, man. Well, that's crazy. Because you can't make profits off public school. That's crazy. At my school, we started having. It used to be you would only lock the door and hide. Yeah. And then they did like more extensive research and training, and now we keep like cans and golf balls. Yeah, because can't you like pelt someone in the face with it? Basically? Yeah. So basically, if a shooter walks into the room, we all fucking throw metal heavy ass cans at him. It's gonna hurt. I agree that like if someone walks in the room and so what's the situation? Do you just all like go get him, or do you just like you wait for him to turn around? Like what do you do? Well, like so what we were trained to do is we would hide lock the door and grab cans. Yeah. And then if he walked in, because the door would be here and we'd be here, so he'd walk in, come straight, and then we just fucking beat him to death. Yeah. But before that, it was just hide, don't defend yourself. I agree that using blunt objects to hurt him is, especially if you have numbers, is a good strategy, because it's only one. It's going to be only one shooter. Mm-hmm. Like that's if it's two, then that's insane. But it's only going to be one shooter. Yeah. So, and yeah, that's why I always tell people, like, if you're getting attacked, just like do a dirty hit, like hit him in the eyes or something, or hit him in the neck. And for some reason, like the schools taught us not to use don't defend ourselves. Yeah, and it's just like it's weird to think about. Well, it is. It's you don't want to be a hero, Yeah, and it's hard to be like, okay, 17-year-olds, you got to fight the school shooters because the cops aren't going to be able to do shit for you. But the reality is that I would trust like a 17-year-old or 16-year-old boy with an arm to fucking annihilate a school shooter. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure those same jocks who bullied that kid the last week could probably just kill him with their bare hands. So I'm totally fine with that. Like, but yeah, it's scary. You don't want to be a hero if it means like risking your life and dying. So one of my friends said, if we had ever had a school shooter, I wouldn't leave the building. I'd hunt him down and beat him. Like, you're retarded. Yeah, it's like, okay, that's not gonna happen. He probably has like 600 bullets. So. Yeah. One, he'd see you from a mile away. He'd just fucking shoot you. You better be a goddamn ninja. Yeah. Yes, you're not gonna. Now, if you hide, if you're in this amazing situation from like a movie,
Yeah.
and you're hiding
Like
behind
Die
a door,
Hard.
and you're like, whoa,
You're in the
you got your
vents.
arms up or something, like
Yeah.
you're pretending to be a statue. Yeah, and then like they walk past you. If you're in that amazing of situation, you're hiding in a locker.
Mm-hmm.
Most high schools have like the small lockers now, but let's pretend that's the past. It's Saved by the Bell. You can hide in the locker. This is the Saved by the Bell school shootout where Slater's in the locker and Screech is like, "Oh my gosh, Slater, he's gonna shoot us." He's like, "Not today," and he busts out of the locker and he karate chops the gun away.
Yeah,
you could that could happen, but the circumstances have to be so perfectly aligned.
Yeah, because I mean.
And honestly, if
How?
I was a shooter, I wouldn't even be walking into classrooms. I would just be like, what do they even do? I guess they open up the doors and shoot at people, right? But I don't even know.
What I would do is I would walk down one hallway, and then they'd be like, because over the intercom, they're like, the shooter's in this hallway, and then everyone else would leave. I would just turn around, sprint to that hallway, and shoot everyone while they're fucking running away. I mean, it's really not that. It's not that
the
hard.
idea of running at all when there's a school shooter is so terrifying, especially because AR-15s.
I literally, whenever we do those
yeah.
drills and we're like going out the door, and sometimes they have it planned really poorly, so a bunch of kids go out one door and it gets congested, and so we're all slowly walking in a pack. I literally get like the hairs on my neck stand up, and I'm like, if someone wanted to kill us all right now, they could.
That's when you pick up one of the freshmen and you start holding them over you for your human shield.
Well, so we're all facing one way, so someone could be walking behind us and just pop, 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 pop. We'd have no way.
Yeah, it's really scary. And then like adults who just want to shoot guns at the gun range are like, fuck them. That shit can't take away our guns because of that. We need this shit. We need this
people
so that we can protest Black Lives Matters and then like kill people because our guns are loaded because we sent high schoolers across state lines to fucking protect people. And by protect people, because he's a fucking kid, he's not a fucking remember we're talking about irresponsible parents. You fucking kid. He's like, he can't make rational decisions. He fucking kills people. And then Trump and the media keeps praising him constantly. He keeps getting accolades and rewards. He's just getting a bunch of like good praises all the time. He's in magazines and shit because he's a hero to Republicans. And he killed people when he should have never been there. When he traveled across state lines, I don't even think he was allowed to carry a rifle because he was underage.
He wasn't.
Like, yeah. And they just like, at least be like...
The police didn't even stop him.
I know.
They just said, get out of here.
Well, yeah, because the police are so used to seeing people open carry protest. And they're like, fuck it. But like, they don't normally shoot. But this kid didn't understand. He's like, no, I'm here to protect. I'm like a good guy. And he like killed those people. He shot them. And so it's like... This is a situation that could have been easily avoided if people weren't stupid. Because like... Why is a 17-year-old out there with a rifle?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
And
why did you drive across state lines to a protest?
BLM protests aren't even violent until the police show up and they start fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Or, they go undercover and start breaking cars and shit, try to make the protesters turn violent. Or they instigate. Or until the riot shows up as an anti-protest.
Yeah.
And then they instigate.
Well, and a lot of times those aren't even violent in like the sense the media wants to paint it out. It's just like people yelling at each other. Mm-hmm. But you get those occasional viral videos where people throw hands, but it's usually not even that bad. Yeah. So. Or you get the viral video of someone getting punched in the face because they're like literally a Nazi and they're like, look, man, I don't know what your problem is. I just think your kind shouldn't be here in this country and they need to leave. Okay, I don't know why you hate me. It's like,
I'm the good guy. Trump said I'm a good guy.
And like, I literally agree that violence is not the answer and you shouldn't punch those people. But it's like, dude, if you're talking shit,
expect to throw hands.
Yeah, it's like you're signing up for it. Like, you're literally out there being like, anyone want to fight me?
Yeah.
And then, like, when someone punches you, you're like, you act like a big baby about it. It's like, dude, what did you think was going to happen?
Right.
Again, I don't think it's right, but I'm just saying, like, if that's what you're going to do, the words you're saying, they're violent words.
I just watched the trial of the Chicago 7 with my sister. It's really good. You should watch it. I don't know if you've seen it.
Is that the new like Netflix movie? Yeah, I have it on my list.
It's about
Sacha Baron Cohen's in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about.
I couldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it eventually.
It's about the Chicago riots of '68.
Yeah.
And they were trying to say that these people went to Chicago to start riots and cause violence.
Yeah.
But it was actually the city's fault because, one, the city wouldn't give them a place to protest.
Yeah.
And two, the police instigated it. And they were ripping people off like poles and shit and like
the
beating
police,
the shit out of people.
It's so funny. People still argue that police don't do that when it's like we have so much evidence from.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do you believe that they did it back then when we have evidence, or are you just gonna be like, oh no, they used to, but now they're good guys. Like, yes, now they're good guys that were protesting them killing us unlawfully. Yes, now they're good guys.
Yeah. It's just to make the protesters look bad.
Yeah.
And make the police look good.
Well, this is one of the things that Alex Jones actually points out is like, because even he can tell this because it's not rocket science. If you go and look at different pictures of different riots, quote unquote riots throughout history, there's always like piles of bricks while people are protesting. Who keeps putting those bricks there? People see bricks, they go, oh, here's a brick, I'm gonna throw it.
Yeah.
Why are there always piles of bricks provided for protests? I don't know, but people aren't bringing the bricks, man. They're already there.
You really need to watch that movie. It's really good.
Yeah,
it goes through the trial.
I do want to watch it.
The judge was like,
it looks really interesting and cool.
The judge apparently, so they brought in the leader of the Black Panthers at the time.
Yeah,
who was only in Chicago for 4 hours. They just stuck it with him, or stuck the charge on him because he's black.
Yeah.
And a Black Panther.
Well, yeah, they want to stop the Black Panthers.
Yeah. Even though he wasn't even in it. Right. And the judge bound and gagged him because, one, the judge didn't give him a lawyer, and two, the judge wouldn't let him speak without a lawyer.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let him represent himself, which is all unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And he wanted one of the other lawyers in the room to represent him, and he's like, no, that's not my fucking lawyer.
Yeah.
So he kept charging him with contempt in court.
Yeah. And
then eventually he had him shackled and gagged to a chair.
Yeah.
So that he could not stand up and speak anymore.
Really insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is scary because stuff like that happens not all the time, but it happens especially back then.
The judge was like super.
Yeah,
he was like, "You guys are guilty. I'm gonna make it so that happens."
Yeah.
And then literally, if anyone said anything he didn't like, he would charge him with in contempt of court.
Yeah.
And he would just sway because they brought in the retired chief of security or something like that.
Yeah.
Who found that the police caused the violence, not the protesters.
Yeah.
But then the next administration threw that out and reopened the trial.
Yeah. And
the judge actually told the jury to go stand out and not listen to this for some fucking reason.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's you need to watch it. It's so good.
That's what people had to fight against to get to where we are now. And then people are like, what was that? That takes place in like the 70s, right?
69.
60s? Yeah, oh yeah. So almost 70s. And people are like, yeah, racism's over now. It's like, that was like not even long ago. Like and we still
4 years.
It's just that people think that racist people, they think people are racist, but they don't believe in like mass racism. Like they don't think that like there's powers that be that are suppressing black voices, I mean a lot of people reject systematic racism, which is just like amazing because if you have a conversation with them, they're like, yeah, things used to be bad, but it's not like that anymore. I'm like, that's systematic racism. Like things in the past have hurt how black people live today. That's what it is. And they're like,
things of the past trickle down to our current society.
And they're like, okay, but if they just worked hard, if they just worked hard, then it'd be fine. Like,
but they have to work harder.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but it's because we used to have racism back in the past. So do you think that's fair? Like, well, I think it's fair in America that if you work hard, you can get anywhere you want.
But they have to work harder than everyone else.
It's not even. That's the American. It's such a lie too. The American dream is not even real. So
No. If you're born rich, you're gonna be rich. If you're born poor,
Yeah.
you're gonna be poor.
People say work
Unless
hard.
for like the 1% that make it.
If you work hard, you can get anywhere. If you're either lucky or you work in a way that steals from other people, yes. Like,
or you know people.
yeah. Well, or if you just know people, which means it's not really I worked hard. It's I was born into it. But
Well, if you quote unquote work hard and you meet people through,
you work hard but not work honest.
yeah,
Because it's like,
because nepotism unfortunately exists, and so if you know someone, you automatically have a leg up.
yeah. So the idea,
No matter
like,
how hard you work.
yeah. So the whole thing's a lie. But it's like, they admit things used to be racist. But then but systematic racism doesn't exist. It's like
Systematic racism is from the racism that happened in the past.
Those two things are like basically like mutually exclusive to each other.
Right.
Like you have to have both. Like you can't just believe in one. But it's because they're like, well, if I just don't think about it, that's not an argument. I'm required.
You just
to
have to
think
work
about
hard. But they have to work so much harder.
They have to work
so unfair.
They have to work harder from starting from less with way less resources. Everything's harder. And then they have to also fight and combat literally modern day racism of people also holding them back.
Yeah. So one, they're living paycheck to paycheck off of a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
They're probably providing for some family. Then they can't go to college because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
And then, so how are they going to work hard? Because you have to have a college degree to make any.
That's why a lot of people turn to selling drugs or selling other black market things.
Yeah. Or crime because it's easier.
Yeah.
Because everything else is against them.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah. So I don't know how.
Doesn't add up.
How people say systematic racism.
Checkmate conservatives.
Yeah. Ooh.
Remember that? Checkmate libtards.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I used to always be like checkmate atheists. That's what I remember back in the day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that
checkmate
too.
Libtards was pretty good too. This one's gonna be called the Libtard podcast.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's just me and Shane, so we're gonna libtard it up.
Libtard.
That's good.
We're not liberals. We're leftists.
That's true. Get it right.
Yeah.
I would say
I hate liberals.
I would say neither one of us fall into that category, depending based off of what we've said in all of these podcasts. We're not actually liberals, but it's like the joke is people are like, well, you would call me a liberal, or you would call me a super liberal, but liberal's not what I am.
Yeah.
Because just like you can be right leaning and not be conservative, which is what libertarian would be.
Yeah, I always see memes. I follow this leftist meme account.
Yeah.
And it's like a conservative and a leftist. They're like, I fucking hate you liberals. And the leftist is like, I fucking hate liberals too.
Yeah. That's what they always They always say stuff like, I don't remember the setup of the joke, but it's always like, oh, you hate Trump? Well, what about Biden? It's like, I hate Biden too, motherfucker.
I went to Bernie.
Yeah.
I just thought of a school shooter meme a while ago. It's when you're playing dead and the school shooter walks up and says, that boy always had a fat ass, and starts unzipping his pants.
No. What the fuck? Such a weird That boy always with it.
That boy always had a fat ass.
They can't be gay. Gay people.
I don't know, it's just funny.
Gay men get used to being bullied, and then they just turn to subs. They just want to top. They don't take out their. Whereas incels are like, women disrespecting me. Now they have to die. I mean, there's literally that. Was his name Elliot Rodgers? There's literally that guy with his video manifesto, which became a meme in itself because he's just like. He was the guy who it was like Tucson shooter thing. He was this guy who he made his YouTube video. He's like, you women, I try to be a good guy, but you just won't learn, will you? He's like the Parkland shooter guy. His video was like, and I hate everyone. And then his video, the Elliot Rodgers guy was just like, you women, you make me laugh. Ha. Huh.
For the last 8 years of my life, ever since I've hit puberty, I've been forced to endure an existence of loneliness rejection, and unfulfilled desires. All because girls have never been attracted to me.
You've never seen it?
No.
He's like, you say you want a good guy, but that's not what you want. And then like, it's like the next day he kills, like he goes to like a girl's dorm, you know, like it was like a sorority,
yeah.
It was like only college girls lived there, and so he shot him up. And it's like he didn't even know those girls. I think he killed like 2 or 3 of them, and like he didn't even know them. So like, those weren't even the ones who rejected him.
Yeah.
He just wanted to kill some girls.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just like if you've ever had a moment where you actually like hated women in high school because you're like a high schooler and you're like, oh fuck, like no, I don't want to be this guy.
I wish I was gay.
Well, no, because like yeah, if you're a gay guy,
you only have to you hang out with bros all the time.
Well, I think gay guys don't have to deal. Well, I don't know. They have to deal with a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah.
But like they
don't have to deal with women. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. They have to deal with women who like fetishize them and like you gotta be my gay best friend, which I know a lot of gay guys like anyway. But like to me, it always just feels so gross. They're like, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, I finally have a guy I can do makeovers with. This is what I've been dreaming of.
Weird.
Jane, do you ever have... Our video is going to have to come to an end soon, but do you ever have girls talk about wanting to play with your hair and like do stuff to it and give you makeovers? And
I have them want to braid my hair all the time.
Yes, that's what I get every day.
I fucking let them do it.
I always say no.
Oh, really?
I say no. And there's a girl that used to be my manager that was just constantly be like... So, what if I just braided your hair? It's like, no.
Okay, if I'm like...
Then I dated her a few years later when we both didn't work there. But, like, before we were dating, we were just, like, flirting. She's like, if I have sex with you, you have to let me braid your hair. And I was like, maybe. I said, maybe. She never did, but I probably would have let her at that point. Yeah. If I was dating a girl, when I date girls, I do let them do I let them give me. I don't know how to do a man bun properly. Yeah. They'll like do it for me, and I don't really want it, but they'll be like, please, I'm like fine, and then they're like, you're so cute. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
If I like if I'm friends with the girl or I like them, I'll let them fucking braid my hair or whatever. Yeah. I really don't care that much. I think it's funny.
It can be fun.
Like, I had a girl give me, like cornrows and shit. It was funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That actually sounds funny and interesting.
Like, she gave me, like, 4 or 5 giant braids. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys with that style. Like,
I was like, I'm like, Posty.
They look
I'm
like...
Post Malone.
They look like Vikings or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If a girl I actually liked asked me... Usually I say no to literally everyone because I'm so tired of hearing it. But if I actually did like them... And it had to be like a girlfriend, though. Yeah. So stop asking me, every lady. Stop. It's not going to happen.
But I was, like, also the only one... Actually, I don't know. Maybe, like, one of the 2 people in my grade who had long-ass hair.
Yeah. It wasn't, like, a trend for you guys?
We had, like, a couple, but not, like, a ridiculous amount.
A lot of guys did it around the same year for me, but then I was like the only one who like stuck with it, and that's like we all had it like your length, and mine just got longer. Everyone started cutting their hair. I was like, I'm sticking with it.
I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, I kind of
want it shorter to like this length again, but I don't know when to do it.
Like, I'm like, my family was like, I fucking hate your hair, cut it, and then I go out with my friends.
It looks fine. It looks good.
I know. And then I go out with my friends, and they're like, dude, I fucking love your hair. It's badass. Yeah. I'm like, thank you. Yeah. Like, so, like...
And then Jeremiah's is slightly longer now. And, like, when he has it up in a ponytail, I'm like, yeah, he rocks it well. Like, yeah. We used to make fun for the mullet thing, but, like, in reality, though, he rocks it pretty well.
I think I rock the long hair.
Even James, he has it, like, not long, but it's, like, you know, it's like that Leonardo DiCaprio length now. I think he rocks it well, too. I think it's a good look. That's why I kind of want to cut mine a little shorter to like, you know, like whatever, like past ear length or whatever.
Yeah. I think I always think I look good with long hair. I think I rock it. And then my family's always like, I fucking hate it.
I don't know why adults are just weird. Like
No, my sisters will do it.
yeah.
And then, like, all my friends are like, dude, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
I'm like, thank you. I think it's fucking awesome, too.
Yeah, but, like, your sisters also, they don't, like, there's a lot of girls, they don't, because girls, it's normal for girls to have long hair, but, like, some girls will, like, cut their hair really short. Not, like, some girls will buzz it. Some girls will just do, like, the chin thing. Some girls will, like, dye their hair different colors and stuff. Your sisters don't seem to do that, so I don't know. I think your sisters are just more traditional trad wives. There's trad wives.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Whenever I have long hair, I'm like, I feel like a grunge.
Yeah.
A grunge boy.
That's what I always felt like, too.
I feel grungy.
Like, yes. Like, I'm not, what's the word? I don't know. It's like the opposite of, like, the preppies or...
Yeah. I'm grungy.
Yeah.
It's literally like grungy.
Yeah, grunge is cool.
Yeah, so I feel like a badass, and my parents are like, "Fucking hate your hair."
So
it's almost like
some of my friends from high school who are like older than me, like when they met me, they were like, "Oh, to me, it was like if I talked to you, I felt like you would be more authentic." And I was like, "Yeah, it's so weird that you thought that, but it's true, I guess. Like I consider myself pretty authentic."
Yeah.
So.
Well. Yeah. I don't know. So now it's like turned into this thing where I'm like, yeah, fuck my parents. I'm gonna keep my long hair. Yeah. But then it's also like a lot of people like it and they give me compliments for it.
Yeah. Well, not everyone. Some people fuck it up, but yours looks pretty good. So. Okay. So yes, we had to end the Libtard podcast with us talking about our male fashion. So deal with it. But
yeah, I'm grunge.
Yeah. We're gonna start a grunge band later.
Yeah.
Called Flannels and Jeans. I don't know.
Flamin' Flannels.
Yeah, the Flamin' Flannels. I don't know. It sounds a little... Might be a little... Give the wrong impression.
Yeah, I don't know. When I think of flannels, I don't think of grunge anymore.
You think of like hipster stuff? Or
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's both.
Yeah.
Flannels are just cool.
Well, when I think of like Kurt Cobain, I think of flannels and long hair.
Yeah. Kurt Cobain, very attractive man. I'm not gonna lie.
He was a good-looking dude.
He had some style. He didn't try to though.
No,
but whenever I see him with like the iconic scene of him playing the Unplugged set.
Yeah.
With like that green coat.
The shawl.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
It's the reason why like I like the color green. I think.
Yeah.
Because the way like he just rocked it.
Dude, he like literally he didn't care what he fucking wore.
I know.
He wore dresses to performances and interviews all the time.
We didn't even talk. We still haven't talked about that on the podcast. Okay. But I guess it's a dead story now.
Yeah.
About Ben Shapiro freaking out over Harry Styles wearing.
Kurt Cobain used to do it all the fucking time.
All the coolest people did it.
Freddie Mercury, David Bowie.
Like, and it doesn't make sense for every guy to do it. But like, if you were a rock star and you were larger than life, like you could do it. You should do that stuff.
Yeah,
because you're an entertainer, you're a performer. Harry Styles he's a musician, right? Like he should be doing that. That's what he should be doing.
I saw there's this photo of Kurt in like a dress, like a summer dress, and like a headband.
Yeah,
and he's like smoking a cigarette, and he's blowing smoke. He's like,
yeah.
I thought it was badass. I'm like, fuck yeah, wear that dress.
Cool.
It is.
But it's cool because if you know like what he's about and what he represents, and so for him to rock that look, it's pretty cool.
He does it well.
Yeah.
There's a shoot that Nirvana did where they all wore dresses and they all posed like real girly.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
That's awesome.
It's really fun. Have you seen it?
No.
I'll look it up. It's
the
really
idea
funny.
Of that is cool because it's just like, well, because like they were trying to be counterculture to the former style of like the hair metal bands.
Yeah.
Like Poison and stuff like that.
And yeah.
So for them to do that, it's really cool. It probably helped change music for the better, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the reason why Nirvana got big in the first place though was because people were tired of MTV's pumping out constant hair metal bullshit, and people were ready for a change. And that's when, in the very early '90s and late '80s, that's when you had bands like the Pixies and Sonic Youth, and then eventually Smashing Pumpkins, Nirvana started popping up. And it's because people just didn't care about MTV anymore, and they cared about the underground sound. And then Nirvana was one of the first ones to really like blow up.
And it was something new.
Yeah, and then after that, they like just went to Seattle and were like, okay, bands, who wants to be famous? And like that's where like Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and all of them were all like, hey, we're Seattle bands.
Yeah.
Make us big. And so just literally just like that. So
yeah.
I don't know if music will ever do that ever again.
Yeah. I think hip hop did it.
Hip hop did it. Did they? I mean, they did it like kind of before, but like before Nirvana.
Well,
right? Or it depends on what artist. Like,
well, I think like
because like gangster rap was like later.
Like now, like the SoundCloud rappers, and like all the, like they mumble rap.
Yeah, mumble rap kind of took off.
Mumble rap and like trap
music, which underground trap is actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, one guy who kind of took off. And then that kind of like influenced the entire scene, which is good because before that we had Lil Wayne before that, and it was bad. It was dark times.
Yeah. I think it'll always happen. I think someone's always gonna want to make something new and creative, and then people are gonna follow suit.
Yeah,
I think that's fucking awesome. I can't wait.
It's cool. Yeah. It's like the new Kurt Cobain.
All right. Well,
good one. Good 2-man podcast.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. Last thing I want to say is, fuck my family. I'm keeping my hair long.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep dating black people. I don't care if my dad doesn't like it.
My hair's badass. Can't tell me it looks bad. And bye. Wasteland Podcast signing off.
Hi, Elliot Roger here. I'm 22 years old, and I'm still a virgin. I've never even kissed a girl. More than that, actually. And I'm still a virgin. Everyone... You girls have never been attracted to me. I don't know why you girls aren't attracted to me, but I will punish you all for it. It's an injustice, a crime, because I don't know what you don't see in me. I'm the perfect guy. And yet you throw yourselves at all these obnoxious men, instead of me, the supreme gentleman. I will punish all of you for it. I'll take great pleasure in slaughtering all of you. You will finally see that I am, in truth, the superior one.